In the USA, it is so important to express gratitude explicitly. We say it in words, we write it on little sticky notes and in cards, and we even give gifts sometimes. It's also really important for foreigners to know that in the United States, we say thank you to really everyone, not just strangers, not just professionals who serve us, but also to our friends and to our family, even those closest to us. In fact, especially those who are closest to us. But what about the rest of the world? How do people express gratitude in other countries? Do they just say thank you? In honor of World Gratitude Day, which is September 21st, we're going to take a peek at a few other cultures. And if you think that saying thank you is a universally good idea around this world, you don't want to miss this. My name is Brenda Padilla Erickson. I'm a specialist in cultural diversity from Seattle, living in the south of Spain for many years. People here say gracias quite a bit, but not nearly as much as we say thank you in the United States. So I've been thinking about this topic for a long time because it really affects me. I'm in a culture where gratitude is actually expressed differently, especially to close family and friends, differently than what I learned growing up in the United States. So recently, I've been doing some cross-cultural research and I've made some really interesting discoveries. Let's start in India. Look at this headline. I've never thanked my parents for anything. This is an article in The Atlantic. You can find the link below this video. The author of this article explains that in India, you really cannot thank people who are close to you, people you care about, because that's too formal. And it shows that it makes it look like there's kind of a distance between you. It can actually be rude. It can be offensive. It's a taboo. People in India feel grateful, very, very grateful to other people, especially those close to them. But they have very different ways, very subtle ways, non-explicit ways of sharing their gratitude with those around them. We find a similar situation in China. An American studying there wrote an article to respond to this article about not saying thank you in India. And she said that her Chinese tutor explained to her this same concept, that you don't need to say thank you to the people who are close to you, your family and friends. And the way he described it was this. He said, your family and friends are like part of you. So why would you say thank you to yourself? In Japan, when you do something nice for someone, a person will often respond with the Japanese word for apologizing. Why do they apologize? Because there's a heavy debt of gratitude towards people who are kind to you, and you apologize because you haven't yet repaid the favor. Iran is another example of a country where people often apologize when someone does something nice for them. There's an interesting study that compared the way people say thank you in English and the thanks in Persian, and they found that people in Iran not only apologize, but often they ask that God repay the person who has done this kindness. So that's kind of like their cultural response to a favor. In Russia, we find another culture where people don't need to say thank you to friends and family. I found an article on the internet. I wasn't too sure about the source, so I showed it to a Russian friend of mine in the States, and she said, definitely, it's right on. We don't need to say thank you to people who are really close to us because that would put kind of a distance between us and them. Finding that same theme again. Now, as I mentioned, my experience in Spain is that people do say thank you quite a lot when we're out and about. But I've also found that it's not so necessary to say thanks to family and close friends in this country. We could go on and on around the world, but there's a really interesting study that looks at 8 different languages across 5 continents and confirms what anthropologists can already tell us. Saying thank you around the world is actually quite rare outside of the United States. Although I would like to point out that this study did find that Italians also said thank you quite a lot. Isn't cultural diversity fascinating? World Gratitude Day is a perfect day to explore this aspect of culture with foreign friends, neighbors, foreign exchange students. This is a great time to ask people, bring up this topic. Who do you feel most grateful to? What do you feel grateful for? And especially, How do you express gratitude in your country to acquaintances, to strangers, to friends, to family? Prepare to learn many new things. Prepare for more than a few surprises. And wishing you the very best on World Gratitude Day. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like more videos that show you how you can use cultural diversity to make your life more fun and more fascinating.